Is that period now over?
Well, I think it's coming to an end, but it all depends on how we project ourselves and whether the British people still think that we are capable of regathering ourselves, re-nurturing ourselves, as it were, and go forward into the future. I think we're on the verge of that. I don't think we're there yet, to be quite frank with you. My judgment is that we are still apprehensive as to what our central message should be. And once we can coalesce around that, I think then we will enter a new phase.
So you think the party still has to earn their votes?
Oh, absolutely. I think we could earn millions of votes. You know, if you were to look at the opinion polls and certainly look at the average of all the local election results of the last 6 months, we are around 22%. That'll give you over 6 million votes. To be serious, we need about 9-10 million. So there's 2 or 3 million that we've got to gather in before the 91 general election. So there's a lot of work to do.
You've spoken of the need to provide a snapshot of policies for the voters. How does that square with what Richard Livesey was saying of the idea of an evolutionary party which will gradually develop its own image?
Well, I'm not quite sure whether there is a disagreement of style there. You know, I actually think that we need an image on 4 issues. And the 4 issues are democracy, community, environment, and internationalism. Those are the 4 things. And we get so little publicity time in general. We should use it for those 4 issues and hammer those 4 issues, because we are always fighting against the history, the historical base of the Tory party, the Labour image from the end of the last century onwards. So we try to create an image, and you can only create a coherent image by being consistent. And if the message is consistent, then I begin to think that we will start setting the political agenda.
But do you think it's a mistake to allow too much of a divergence of opinion within the party?
Oh, gosh, no. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have survived in the old SLDP if somebody had said that. You know, David Owen would have been there here even today. No, of course, people have a right to their opinion on all issues. Nuclear power, defence, whatever it is. But as long as it's within the confines of those 4 issues, everything revolves around them. And we can have all sorts of detailed arguments. But as long as it's presented on 4 themes, then I believe that is the start and the beginning of the end of the penitence period.
But if you allow all these different elements, all this range of opinion within the party, how is it going to establish an image?
Well, the image will come once it has a policy conference. You know, this is the start of it here. You have a council, we've had a council here in Deganwy where it's debated 2 or 3 issues, and as you go towards the general election, policies will emerge. Policy is not the end all and be all of politics. Ted Heath didn't say in 1970 in the general election he was going to join the EEC. Mrs. Thatcher didn't say last time that she was going to introduce poll tax. You know, policies emerge in some ways in Parliament frequently, but the image is the style that matters, and above all else, how we present ourselves to the British public and to the Welsh community of people as well.
Do you think people are really interested in what's going on here in Deganwy?
I wouldn't have thought so. That's the way of politics, isn't it? They're not interested because they're not quite sure yet whether we deserve to be taken seriously once again.
And do you?
Of course we deserve to be taken seriously if the message is right.